So now, as a fallout of the suspension, the NBA called for a 2-day boycott of the courts. I went to Ikeja High Court to monitor the compliance level, and this is what I saw.
The NBA does not pay my bills. They've never done anything.
This was the general belief of most of the lawyers at the Ikeja High Court on the 29th of January. Legal activities at the Ikeja High Court was not in any way hampered by the directive of the National Nigerian Bar Association, directing that lawyers should boycott the courts for 2 days. Lawyers believe that because they are being paid by their clients, they should go about their legal duties.
So is your own court sitting? Is she still sitting?
The compliance team of the Ikeja branch of the NBA go from court to court to enforce obedience.
We have found out that some judges are sitting, and we are going from court to court to ensure that the judges assist in this particular struggle.
But they are met with stiff resistance. In their usual fashion, lawyers engage in argument as to the legality of the action.
You are not with the masses, you are alone. You are not with the masses, you are alone.
They say their anger stemmed from the fact that their loyalty is to their client, not to the NBA.
Private business. What are you doing for us? What's the NBA doing for anybody? We pay you. We pay you.
The situation is not different in Jigawa State as lawyers turn out at the court, not minding the directive of the national body. The chairman of the association in Jigawa State explains that they are yet to receive any formal instruction from the national body.
Even if we received an instruction from the national body, we have to sit down at the branch level and then deliberate on it, then take stand on it.
In Cross River State, South Nigeria, the story is different, as lawyers did not only obey the directive, but also defied the morning rain to demonstrate what they describe as an illegal suspension of the first Cross River State-born Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge. In Benin, the Edo State capital, a man tries to open a closed courtroom door, a clear indication that this court is not sitting.
No court, whether it's High Court, Federal High Court, State High Court, Court of Appeal, Magistrate Court, Customary Court, District Customary Court, any court at all, there is a total shutdown of courts. And we're doing this to protest against the illegal removal of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. As far as we are concerned, he's still our Chief Justice.
The boycott entered the second day and lawyers again turned out at the Igboshiri High Court despite the directive of the NBA. Now, this is how some other lawyers reacted to the directive of the NBA to boycott the courts.
I learned from the registrars that no circular has been sent to them to boycott court. So I don't know whether there has been a mix-up or no notice has been sent to courts not to sit. So I think there is a lapse in the judiciary, if at all they don't want their judges to sit, to have formally communicated to all of them instead of giving information on the air for their judges not to sit. I think that's what is surprising to me up to now.
I feel it depends on the court, depends on the judge, and depends on the lawyer. Because your clients are very important, you have to be in court to defend them. They're paid.
Is an association of lawyers. They can make rules, but even when there is a conflict within them, that's going to be a problem. So if I have a matter in court where the other party has filed motion for summary judgment, I should go and leave the court. He comes in, he takes the motion, judgment is against my client. It's my client that pays my bill. I pay my dues to NBA. So the house is divided. You cannot say boycott courts and you challenge the procedure by boycotting. No, go to the same court and challenge the procedure.
The matters are listed in court already, and there's need for the matters to move on in the interest of justice. These are matters that have been pending in courts for such a long time, and we don't want to let those matters suffer. It's not as if it's in disregard to the NBA, but since the judges are sitting, the judges are not engaging in this boycott. So since they are sitting, we have to come here and take our cases.
And here are some trending stories from the courtroom.
We begin in Abuja, where the Code of Conduct Tribunal will resume sitting in the trial of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onohen, for alleged non-declaration asset on February the 4th. This follows the ruling of the Court of Appeal, which dismissed the application filed by the suspended CJN seeking to stop the trial. Justice Onogen had approached the Court of Appeal to stop his trial for alleged non-declaration asset, while he still has other pending applications challenging the jurisdiction of the CCT to try him, and another where he alleges that he was denied fair hearing by the chairman of the CCT and his colleague before his suspension was ordered. The appeal court in Port Harcourt has reserved ruling till February the 4th on the stay of execution in the case brought by a faction of the All Progressives Congress in the state regarding the participation of its candidates in the general elections. Justice Kolawole Omotosho of the Federal High Court had on January the 7th restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission from fielding the candidates of the APC in the general elections. The court failed to hear the cases following the enforcement of the two-day court boycott directive by the Nigerian Bar Association. And finally, the newly appointed Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Mohammed, has sworn in 250 members of the 2019 election tribunals. This is his first official task following his appointment. While inaugurating the members at the Supreme Court complex, the acting CJN asked them to uphold the integrity of the arm of government and discharge their duties with the fear of God.
And before we go, a question for the week. Who is expected to write a will?
Anyone is entitled to write a will who has properties or legacies that they want to bequeath on their children or their loved ones. So, in a matter of speaking, everyone who has property, and property may be real property, maybe intellectual property, shares in the bank, whatever it is that has value. So if you have anything that has value, you are qualified under Nigerian law to write a will. In Nigeria, when someone dies, it is the prayer and the wishes of their loved ones that they rest in peace. But I also believe that it is also the wish of the dead that the living also live in peace. So one of the importance of writing a will is to ensure that the living also live in peace among themselves. We've had cases, as a lawyer, I've handled cases of people, of dead ones, whose loved ones have continued to live in pieces. I'm sorry to use that word, but that's the reality of the situation. If you can imagine, this is 2019, I have a client that died in 2008. Until now, the survivors of the estate are still quarreling and fighting over the estate of the deceased. Yes, the dead will live in peace, but the living also have to mutually coexist in peace. I believe that is also the wish of the dead ones.
And that's a wrap for us on the program today. Feel free to share your thoughts with us on the issues discussed on all the social media handles shown on your screen. You can also watch this and past episodes of the program on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Victoria Ido.